Welcome to Techmark Pod, where we innovate, discuss, and discover the dynamic intersection of technology and marketing. In each episode, we explore how businesses can leverage both to drive growth and innovation. Meet Alvin, our esteemed host for Techmark Pod. With over 15 years of experience as a renowned marketer, project manager, and software as a service architect, join us as we uncover the unique value proposition of integrating technology and marketing strategies, helping you stay ahead in this fast-paced digital world.
Welcome to Techmark Pod. I'm your host, Alvin, and today I'm joined by Kopano Mushwana. So Kopano is another agency owner, just like me, and I'm very excited to be joined by Kopano. So I don't know if I can say that I'm a fan or I'm not so sure what I can call myself, but I've known you on LinkedIn for a very long time.
Yeah.
I've been observing what you've been building on LinkedIn, and I've never spoken to you, but I thought maybe this is the time
Yeah.
to have a discussion and talk about marketing and branding and what you've been doing. So yeah, Kopano, please introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are well. As Alvin has mentioned, my name is Kopano Mushwana, and I am the founder of KPRM Media Solutions, which is an agency that I've been running for the past 7 years. I also have a company called Sorted, which is a virtual assistance company. And finally, there's quite a few things, guys, but I'm just trying to just keep it very brief. Finally, there's Kopano the brand. So that is honestly just a culmination of my business journey, running the two previous businesses that I've just mentioned. And yeah, today we're going to be talking about basically my journey and all things marketing and branding. So I'm excited.
True. So you know what? I'm going to start from the beginning.
Yes.
I noticed you used to post videos as far back as college days.
Yeah.
You used to post videos on LinkedIn, which is not so common of college students to be
Yes.
on LinkedIn and be posting and talking about marketing.
Yeah.
And, so it's something that intrigued me as a marketer. I have my story, but I won't delve in my story. I also came through to be a marketer and digital marketer. But I want to know, what were you thinking when you were still in college and possibly building KPRM?
Absolutely. So I get that a lot. I think even at the time when I was doing it, people didn't understand. My peers were just like, dude, we're in college. Like, why are you being so serious?
Yeah.
But at the time, I think because my headspace was really different, I was built different from a very young age. I always knew that I wanted to run something. I just didn't know what I wanted to do at the time. Fast forward to later, just before matric, I realized, what, marketing is my calling and I love it.
Mhm.
And then from there, of course, then studied a BCom in marketing management. And then from there, during my second year going into my final year is when I, of course, then started KPRM. And I then realized, you know what, I need a platform. I need a platform where I can sell myself, my knowledge and my value, but at the same time also build my portfolio. So at the time when I found LinkedIn, I was at that phase of trying to build a portfolio for myself.
Yeah.
So that's why I was so relentless, so aggressive with the videos and, showing up, etc. So that's basically what had happened during that time when I had started on LinkedIn. And for me, at the time, I actually didn't even understand the platform. I just knew that you post jobs there. So I thought, okay, if I can post jobs there, I'm sure there's people that look for services here too. So let me just create videos and create this brand for myself and also then continue to build KPRM as well as a business or as an agency or brand. And at the time, if I look back, I mean, geez, I don't know. I think a lot of the things were God-led, intuition-led. Like certain things till this day, I even ask myself, what led me to that space? You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of the stuff that I've done in my business journey were definitely intuition-led. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just felt compelled to do it. But now when I look back, I'm so grateful that I did.
No, I think it's passion driven
Yeah.
because you are very passionate,
Absolutely.
and it got you to a certain stage where you are right now. Care to explain maybe how did you then turn this energy that you had into building of KPRIM and establishing it as an agency?
Absolutely. So once I realized that going through that whole adventure of, building my portfolio and doing freelancing for just under a year before I decided, I'm just going to go head first and start this agency, I loved the autonomy. I loved the creative freedom of working with different people, different brands, telling different stories. I loved it. I was obsessed with it. And I felt like I want to do this every day. And of course, when I was doing freelancing, I then understood that there is a level of autonomy because I always say to freelancers, you guys are basically business owners, but like closeted. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you are running your own thing. You're leading your own rate, you're leading your time, you're leading everything. It's just that you're not officially saying, hey, this is my business, these are our services, etc. Right? So in that moment, that's when I realized, what, I love this. I want to take it a level up.
Yeah.
And then that's when I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna start an agency. I didn't know what I was doing, but I'm really grateful.
Wow, that's amazing. When did you start the agency? Which year was that?
Yeah, so I started the agency, I'd say late 2016, but for real activity, I'd say early 2017.
Early 20s.
Yeah.
Okay. So I understand you then from KPRM, you then started another business, which is your virtual sorted.
Yes.
Which is a virtual assistance.
Yes.
Right. Tell me about it.
So the virtual assistance company, what happened was I was in a place where when I was running KPRM, I was burnt out. Solopreneur, wearing so many hats. And I always felt to myself, I wish I could allocate certain pieces of work within my functions that I'm doing, but not necessarily get an extra overhead or a person in the company because I couldn't afford that at the time.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was following a lot of people in the West that were basically running virtual assistant companies. So I decided, I was very intrigued by it. So I was like, okay, let me do a bit of research around this. And I realized that there wasn't much virtual assistant companies in SA that I knew of at the time. So I saw the gap and I thought, you know what, I think South African entrepreneurs would find this so valuable because you're basically just paying someone for the time you allocate them.
Yeah.
Pay them for those hours and be done, as opposed to getting an extra overhead with the money that you actually don't have. So I was like, geez, this is a game changer. And then that's when I was like, you know what, here's another idea. And hence again, it's like that feeling that I felt when I decided to start KPRM. It came again through Sorted and I was like, there's no way I can't do this. I'm going to do this as well.
Wow.
So that's when I started Sorted, and that was back in December of 2019, just before COVID.
Just before COVID. Wow. That's something else. Yeah. So I'm looking at how you came up with the KPRIM and then Sorted.
Yeah.
And then I think a couple of years later on, you then came up with Kopano, the brand. So there is a story about branding and marketing. Absolutely. And digital marketing.
Yes.
So many of us don't understand whether I need a brand, I need a logo, or I just need, something to start with. People don't understand that part. Mm-hmm. I think this is the time when you give us a masterclass on branding, basically, so that we understand how do we come up with a brand and how do we differentiate our brand from what is digital marketing. Because branding is a different concept and digital marketing is a different concept. People don't understand that part.
That's so true. So just going back to, I want to touch on Kopano the brand. You just mentioned it. So, Kopano the brand, like I was saying, it's a culmination of my experiences building both of these companies, right? But then what I also realized later, and when I say later, I'd say like a year and a half ago, because that's when this journey of Kopano the brand really started, when I said to myself, I need to actually formalize this and make it a thing. I realized that throughout my business journey, especially in KPRM, a lot of my clients did business because they loved me. They loved Kopano. They loved interacting with who I was as a person.
Yeah.
And at the time I realized, I was like, actually, Kopano the brand has always been there. It's just that now it's like I'm being conscious to it to say, okay, there is actually weight in having some sort of personal brand that's associated with your business brand as well. It brings a level of authenticity, that rawness that people are looking for right now as consumers, or just people in general. So that's basically what got me to that place where I'm like, actually, I've always been this.
Yeah.
Now I just need to formalize it and just really just be more aggressive about it, and confidently go out there and actually show that. But in terms of branding and digital marketing, or marketing, the conversation,
Yeah.
for me, I believe that branding is the actual lifeline. It's the blood. It's the heart. It's your fabric. It's your signature. It's the very reason why you exist. Why you decided that you're going to be in this marketplace. Why you decided that you're going to implement this business idea. It's literally your why as to how you want to, contribute to the world or your community.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like that's what branding is. That's your values, your ethos, your principles. What leads you, what moves you. Then marketing is like the vehicle. It's literally, so I'd say branding is like the gas, but then marketing is that car. You need the car to keep it moving, man.
Okay.
And that marketing for me is that vehicle for mass awareness.
Mhm.
That, making the noise, making sure that every single person knows about this amazing company, which is, of course, tied into your branding and your ethos and your values.
Okay. I think you spoke about personal branding,
Yeah.
right? If we then let's come back to our target market, which is the SMEs, right? I've seen so many times that SMEs, most of the SMEs, they trade and they don't have any identity.
Yeah.
Right. They actually almost, not say they don't care, but almost like they overlook the importance of having a proper brand in place for them to excel as a business.
Yes.
What would be your advice to SMEs there?
I'm so glad you asked me this, because actually, funny enough, I'm also working on an article. So they
Yeah.
asked me this question and I was answering it yesterday, actually, funny enough. So literally, what I tend to see with entrepreneurs, and naturally I do understand, because when you start something, what takes precedence is, the business case, proving the business case. Is this actually what people need in the marketplace?
Yeah.
Is it actually solving a problem? And if it is solving a problem, also, is your solution matched to that problem? Like, how do you marry the two, right? That almost immediately makes sense as to why that takes precedence. And because that is like the important aspect, a lot of the other, they would call it fluff, is sort of left in the back burner, which is, your branding and your marketing.
Yeah.
Because they believe, it's just branding and marketing. I can do it. Anyone can do it, type of thing. And then they realize, after they've proved their business case, they've proved that the business model does work, but longevity and sustenance and
Yeah.
sustainability,
Yeah.
you then have to go back to branding and marketing, unfortunately. Then you're just like, oh, shoot, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So it's very easy for them to overlook it, because branding and marketing becomes so key and integral in the long term, not short term. That's how I see it. So with entrepreneurs, with business owners, they want the quick fix.
Yes.
And unfortunately, marketing and branding are not quick fixes. They're over time get better and better. But now they don't have the patience to wait that out.
No one has got the patience for marketing.
That's why sales. That's why sales is like number one. No, I just want a sales guy.
Yeah,
Because sales will, of course, they're relentless. Their guerrilla tactics will always work, because they want to propel a certain action out of the person, even when they don't need it.
Yeah.
That's what sales does, right?
Definitely.
Exactly. Where
Definitely.
branding and marketing is more of a subtle touch, but it's lasting. It's what keeps that product alive for years to come. Brand legacy, brand resonance. It only happens through branding and marketing, consistently, in small incremental steps daily. But no one is ready for that.
No one
That's
is.
what I've noticed.
No one's ready for 6 months to see marketing results. They want to see overnight.
Yeah.
And of course, the budget will be very, very small.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are the challenges that we face as agencies.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Kopano, the brand, and what you intend to do with Kopano, the brand, and possibly who's your target market. I want to know, who are you targeting?
Yeah.
so that we possibly go look for those clients. Because
100%.
we need to get to the clients for Kopano the
Yes.
brand.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, definitely. So I think Kopano the brand is in existence because I realized my power and how I actually got clients in.
Yes.
And it was through myself. So I thought, how can I go and teach somebody else this? Because some people, they're not awoken to that skill set that they have or that natural ability or aura that they have when they're dealing with different types of people. And in this case, your potential client or target profile, right? So for me, it's really just to help others to see their power and also utilizing their innate skills that is God given to basically help them lead whatever that they're trying to sort of push, whether it's a business or their own personal brand, right?
Yeah.
Almost immediately, that is what the vision or goal is for Kopano the brand. In terms of clients, I will work with individuals, so personal brands. I'd work with professionals, so that's career brands, LinkedIn, making sure that you're right, making sure that you're growing on that platform, but also just general training and coaching when it comes to LinkedIn. And then, of course, that's where now corporates and companies now then become the central conversation around training, coaching, but also just maybe even assisting their founders with personal branding, because it's now a conversation. That shift has happened where logos are not a thing now. People want to know the faces behind the logos now. So now I basically help you to package that and make it, commercially valuable so that other people can see that for themselves as well.
So, talking about, I think you posted something to talk about personal branding the other day, right? And I thought to myself, there is a lot of students that are coming from university and they're completing their studies and they want to get into the work environment. And some of them, they fail at interview stages. Some of them, they get the job on the first day they come through for an interview. And looking at that, I almost want to come back to your personal branding video. And I thought to myself, are these individuals lacking some kind of personal branding? If they come, because when they come to the interview, I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of people come for interview. Some, they just walk in here and not even dressed up for the occasion. And they're supposed to be selling themselves, but they forget to sell themselves. Yeah. So we're just gravitating a little bit to personal branding. Yes. I don't know what's your take on that, but this is something that I've picked up over the years.
Absolutely. I think getting a job does not look the same way as it's used to.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just getting a CV, making it look pretty and perfect and sending a beautiful motivational letter.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore. Now with LinkedIn also playing a big role, because now you can get jobs off of LinkedIn and it actually even shows on your profile to say, LinkedIn helped me get this job, right?
Yeah.
And because now that is also in the mix, it's now sort of forcing people to now create some sort of persona or brand to add on. So for me, I feel like personal branding for a student, realistically today, is literally just adding the edge. How many people have a prettied up CV, great motivational letter, and the same BCom that you have?
Thousands.
It's thousands.
Yeah.
So what makes you different?
Stand
Why
out.
should you get the job? Why should they pick you? So you need to add other creative measures to stand out. And I feel like LinkedIn is definitely the platform. And unfortunately, because a lot of people don't know how to use the platform, hence that's also one of the brand's mission, to get more people to understand the platform a lot better and not get overwhelmed by it, so that they can utilize it to the best of their ability to get the best opportunities out of it.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yes, you can have the CV, it's still as important, but have an extra edge. And for me, in this case, that's a career brand. There's a personal brand and there's a career brand.
Yeah.
A career brand is basically it is a personal brand, but now it's geared towards your career.
Okay.
This is for better pay. This is where if you want to ask for a raise, they'll give it to you. Because why? They understand you're an asset to the company.
Yeah.
This is you getting promotions within, the first 2 years of working somewhere instead of the next 8 years. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of benefits to you creating a persona or brand around yourself, being an expert, being a thought leader in a specific industry or space, or even being a brand custodian for your company.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if anyone in the company is smart enough, they'll realize that you being a custodian is actually selling the business a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think when you talk about PR, they talk the best custodians of any business are the people inside.
Absolutely.
You know, so if you become a custodian of our business, then you're adding value to the
100%.
whole business.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so we've spoken on the rise of Kopano as a student and become KPRM and then sorted and then Kopano the brand. So just out of curiosity, how then are you juggling the three?
Mm-hmm.
And for example, if any client comes in and says they want digital marketing, they want virtual assistants, are these all three brands going for that client, or how does it work?
So that's a very good question. I get that often. So for me, it's how I feel. So if I connect with the client and,
Yeah.
and they basically tell me their problem, I would then I think of myself as three people.
Yeah.
So it's of course Kopano the brand, then there's KPRM, and then there's Sorted, right? So it's just like, okay, from this problem that I'm getting from this person right across me, which solution from the three entities that I'm a part of would be the best help? So sometimes you find that I will get a client where they need digital marketing and I'll give that to KPRM, but they might need personal branding coaching for the founder because they feel like the founder needs a little bit more of a spotlight. Then that's where Kopano comes in. But then if they're looking for talent, then that's where Sorted comes in. So it's really just about how I feel. And in terms of juggling, I'm just so grateful that I've managed to, grow my agency to a point where we have an office space now. We have a small team. We are still growing. But in terms of hands, I've been very grateful and blessed to have the hands that would do the most of the work that needs to get done in order for the business to continue to grow. With Sorted, we are still, of course, it's just me and my business partner, but we are looking to add another resource within, the next 2 to 3 months. So I'm also grateful for that. So those certain aspects of having a team and having people that are, willing to feed into the vision has been extremely helpful.
Yeah.
So I think in terms of the juggling, I'm just grateful that I have people. And I think also having a business partner is so key right now because doing everything alone just isn't feasible anymore.
Yeah.
Partnership is everything.
Definitely.
Definitely. Collaboration is
Definitely.
everything as well. And of course, partners as well. Other companies that come in to support what we're doing as the different entities is also goes a very strong and great man.
I'm still gonna pitch the idea after this episode, so don't worry. I'm a possible partner.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, trust me.
Yeah. So I think I picked up something from what you're saying. I think you're talking about you mentioned about founders need branding.
Yes.
Right. So there's a lot of startups, right? And these startups have been the founders maybe they're tech people or maybe they are financial people that are doing fintech or they're medical people going to medtech and all those stuff and so I need you to talk about branding for startups specifically because I can feel you are gravitating towards that as you're speaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. So if you think about it, this personal branding shift that has occurred, right?
Yeah.
It was actually steered by startups.
Yeah.
If you think about it, the startup culture and building a startup today, Silicon Valley, all of those things, their biggest way of selling the business was through the founder's story, the founder's why. And today, what we've observed is that people buy into the story today. Like it's all about brand storytelling. And that feeds into, if you share your story as the founder, that feeds into the whole perception of the brand and why people need to relate with that brand better. Because once you tell a story, relation is evident. And then once relation happens, it's so much easier for me to then entertain whatever you're trying to sell to me.
Okay.
So
That's interesting.
Definitely something that I've observed.
I'm taking notes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely what I've observed with the startup, nature is that because at that time, especially if you're trying to get funding, which other way are you going to sell this product? Fine, yes, the product will probably sell itself, but nowadays you need to do a little bit more to actually get attention from customers, but also investors. They want to know the story.
Yeah.
They want to understand the struggles. They want to understand how did you get here, and that definitely plays a very big role in how you get, funded and who's going to invest, and just the people as well. Who's going to support that MVP? Who's going to, support the, early seed story, etc. So that's what I've observed personally for me, is that the startup game really propelled personal branding, because people just want to hear a story these days.
Interesting. And I took some few notes on that. Okay, so during your tenure, as when you're growing your KPRM and everything that you've been doing,
Yes.
I understand you were awarded, or is it an award? What's the name of the award? I remember you.
Outstanding Leadership Award.
Outstanding Leadership Award.
Yes, Marketing 2.0.
Marketing. Okay. Please let me know what that means, because I'm not so sure.
So for me, I was actually handpicked by the organization, and they observed what I was doing, the contributions that I was making from a South African standpoint. And I was actually supposed to collect the award in Dubai, but flights, guys, we're still pushing. We're still pushing this business thing. So it was pretty crazy, and also it was amidst COVID, so it was a bit messy. So I had to, of course, accept the award virtually.
Yeah.
But what it means for me is it's just a stamp of approval that I'm on the right path, really. That recognition is always great to get. Just so that it's just a sign that, I'd keep going. We see you. People are watching. Guys, that's one thing I'll tell people. People are watching. Don't ever get it twisted and think, oh, I'm just working and no one's recognizing me. They are.
They are watching.
Trust me, they are watching.
Yeah.
So start whatever you want to start and just keep pushing.
Okay. I think I think that's an achievement in marketing. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
If I look at the South African landscape in terms of Black-owned agencies, I mean, we really not as many as we should be.
Yes.
Over the years, that has grown to be more, and for an agency of your size to be able to be recognized in what you are doing in marketing, that's an achievement. That we look forward as marketers to all get recognized and make sure that we are seen on the world stage.
Yeah.
We need to share this big pie of agency life that's happening in South Africa.
Absolutely.
We do have big agencies that are from America and Europe and everyone that's here, but the smaller agents need to now match up. The same, to eat from the same pie, basically.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think also just further representation for the African space in the continent.
Yeah.
To also tell our stories in our own way.
Definitely.
Because the more Black-owned agencies there are, the better the flair of that Africanness that we need.
Definitely.
And just even global brands, not just African brands as well.
Yeah, there's a representation.
Yeah.
I think, interestingly, we work with a client in Europe, but we also do, we do agency work from South Africa, but for a European organization. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things that you realize sometimes that's not what we have at all. That's what they have in Europe. Yeah. So sometimes we've got European this and that events, and it's strictly European. Mm. And we need to sound European to fit in that environment. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's the interesting part. And I hope our agencies would maybe, grow the footprints all over the world, although we started from South Africa, but all over the world and grow into different parts of the world, basically, So what is your vision? What now from here to, I don't know, what's your vision?
For all these entities.
For all these entities. But I'm sure Kopano, the brand, is the one that is leading. Because I understand you've been pushing Kopano, the brand, of late. Yeah. So what is the vision for Kopano, the brand?
Kopano, the brand, I just wanted to really just be recognizable a lot more. Yeah. Doing bigger and better stuff. I mean, right now, of course, we're working on consultations, managing personal brands, etc. Doing trainings, but I'd love to do that in a much bigger scale. That's probably the future, almost the immediate future for Kopano, the brand. For KPRM, it's really just becoming that pioneer digital marketing agency that has that representation that we're speaking about. Just telling our African brand stories in our lens. That's the biggest thing for me. But also, how do we utilize marketing for impact? So how do we marry the two? So that's the future for me for KPRM. Then for Sorted, it's really just being that number one virtual, talent hotspot. So for South African talent, for people outside of South Africa, whether that's the UK, the West, etc., they would then come in and use our talent.
Yeah.
So that's like the bigger vision for Sorted, and of course eradicating youth unemployment. We've managed to employ quite a few young people through the past 4 years being in existence, and we have just over 1,000 people in our database at the moment, and most of them are young. So we've seen a gap where, in terms of how Sorted could help, getting more young people jobs digitally. So that's the
Wow. No, that's amazing stuff. You know what? I can have a conversation with you the whole day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to thank you for coming through. Do you have any questions you want to ask me? Because we're coming to the end now. Do you want to ask any question?
I think for me, it's not really a question, but it's more of just a comment.
Okay.
Thank you for creating this platform.
Okay.
I think I speak for most of the upcoming marketers that are trying to get their names out there and make their mark. Such platforms become so important. So thank you for having that courage to create a platform for other people to really just fly and share their voices. I think it's extremely important, because I think even if I look at it from an industry perspective, there's not much representation. It's like what you were saying. We need more of those voices.
We do,
especially in our industry, man. It's mainly dominated, by the Caucasians for the longest time, and now it's just about really building that voice for us. So I think big ups to you for creating this.
No, thank you very much. It has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Basically, so we are here now. So we're gonna have a lot of conversations and collaborations and everything marketing. I'm just very passionate about marketing.
Oh yeah. No, I love that.
Without forgetting tech, by the way.
So, tech too. So I'm definitely looking forward to the tech side. There's a lot that we can learn, and there's a lot that has disrupted the marketing industry and space with AI and technology. So I'm definitely looking forward to the other episodes that you have with people and just chatting about that. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But
before you go, before you go.
Yes.
So I had an idea, because AI is just becoming ridiculous and more intelligent and more intelligent.
Yeah.
What do you think will be the effect of AI agents? Because right now you can develop an agent that can be able to post and manage social media and do all sorts of stuff.
Yes.
And remember, you were talking about creating jobs, but now, are you sure you're going to create jobs for humans or for robots? Which is
very, very key conversation, right? But I always say to people, at the end of the day, creativity can never be replaced.
Okay.
Certain sections, creating posts and things like that, I get that.
Yeah.
But strategy.
No.
Creativity, creative direction, creative directing. A robot can't do that. That needs human insight and intelligence. So that's my, that's my take. So yes, certain things they'll probably replace and whatever, but like the core as to why marketers truly exist, it's the creativity, it's the strategy that we have. So that's how I view it.
Let's possibly continue this conversation in a few months' time. I just want to go and develop the agency and see how it works. And then find out if what we are saying really works, true. Or you know what I mean?
Yes.
So let's continue the conversation in a few months' time down the year, probably in summer down the year. Then we talk about this again. I think technology is just moving too fast.
Way too fast.
And it's looking very dangerous.
It is. It's looking a little bleak, but we have to find those pockets of optimism and hopefulness. If we don't, we will go crazy. But just to quickly finish off, I'd like to say that I actually have a pre-sale that is going to happen from next week, from the 10th until the 24th. I'll be, basically getting people's names and details for an ebook that I'm actually about to sell. So the ebook
Wait,
is
hold up.
officially-
Hold up. Now you're telling us things when we're about to close. You have an ebook.
Yes, I have an
Oh,
ebook
goodness.
coming up.
But you didn't tell
Exciting
me. Was
stuff.
that supposed to be a secret?
No, it was not supposed to be a secret. I just wanted to sort of slot it towards the end.
That's actually big because we have less authors within this industry.
Yes.
So you being an author, it's big. Okay, so you have an ebook. Let's get into it. What's this ebook
So the
about?
ebook is basically utilizing personal branding for
Yeah.
business success, but mainly also utilizing the LinkedIn platform. So it'll be a mix of how do you start your personal brand, but how do you use LinkedIn for that success that you're looking for, whether that's to get jobs or to build your business.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing. We'll definitely be able to get that as soon as possible. You saying you're selling it, right?
Yes, I'm saying
Yeah.
it.
I'll be number one buyer. I'll buy the ebook.
Thank you.
Even
so
though
much.
I'm not an avid book reader, but I'll buy it and I'll ask the AI to read it to me. You know, so
But I will say though, the ebook is different in a sense that it's more practical. So you're not just gonna read it
yeah,
and feel like, oh, so this was just theory overload, but no action. There's a lot of actionable steps within that ebook that will have you saying at the end, like, wow, I actually have a solid,
yeah. I like it.
solid base
I like
to
it.
pull from.
I like it because authenticity is very important.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's why these conversations that we have on Techmark Pod, they're unscripted for a reason.
Yes.
You understand? So much you are talking about the ebook that it can be, you can put it into practice easily.
Yes.
I think I love it. I want to read it. Wow. Okay, that caught me off guard, but I love it. Yeah.
That's what it's all about, eh?
It's not supposed to be cherry on top. That's the main that we're supposed to talk about. You understand what I mean? But yeah, Kopano, I think we're gonna have so many conversations after this.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Don't forget to subscribe,